What's going on, people? I hope everybody is cool. So, I wanted to hop on here real quick, man, and just share this article with you guys that I came across about Caitlin Clark and something she said about Black WNBA players, okay? And Megyn Kelly did not like what Caitlin Clark had to say. So, whatever Caitlin Clark had to say, it must have been good because Megyn Kelly didn't like it, okay? And if anybody says anything good about black folks, Megyn Kelly is coming to oppose it, all right? So what did the article say? The article was the courtesy of the New York Post, all right? Now I can read pretty good, so we should be all right. Let's dive into it. The article says, Megyn Kelly disgusted by Caitlin Clark for condescending fake white privilege comments. Okay. The article goes on to say the lights on Caitlin Clark have always shined bright, and the woman with the wide world of women's basketball on her shoulders has never shied away. Not from the attention, not from the scrutiny, not from her deep-seated belief that she, too, walks on the shoulders of giants. And for this, she's always drawn iron. Okay. The article goes on to say in interviews for her Time magazine Athlete of the Year cover story, Clark spoke at length about the racial underpinnings behind her explosion to fame in a sport and league that historically has been dominated by black women, and Megyn Kelly was disgusted. Like I said, right? Like I said, because if anything is said good about black men, black women, black people, Megyn Kelly is coming to oppose it. Like I said, okay. The article goes on to say, now, this is what Megyn Kelly had to say in response to what Caitlin Clark said about Black WNBA players. Now, I don't know why the writer of this article wrote Megyn Kelly's response first and then Caitlin Clark's response second. I would think that they would write Caitlin's response first and then what Megyn Kelly had to say second. But nevertheless, this is what Megyn Kelly had to say in response to Caitlin Clark's comments about Black WNBA players. Let's dive into it. Megyn Kelly said on Twitter, on X, "Look at this," the media personality wrote in a post to X Tuesday. Caitlin Clark's on the knee, all but apologizing for being white and getting attention. The self-flagellation, the, oh, please pay attention to the black players who are really sick. The ones you want to celebrate. Condescending, fake, transparent, sad. Now, I'm just reading what the article has here, okay? Now, what did Caitlin Clark say that got Megyn Kelly's panties in a bunch? What did Caitlin Clark say? Well, this is what Caitlin Clark had to say that got Megyn Kelly upset. Caitlin Clark said in an interview, she told Time magazine, Caitlin said, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has been built on them." Okay. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think is very important. I have to continue to try to change that. Okay. That's what Caitlin Clark said. The more we can elevate black women, Clark concluded, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Okay. The article goes on to say in numerous media appearances, Clark has cited that black players who built the game, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Don Staley, Maya Moore, and others. Their legacies can't be disputed, but their influences pale in comparison to Clark's. Okay, we're going to stop right there, man. Dive into my commentary. Like I said, okay, Megyn Kelly got mad at Caitlin Clark for elevating black women within the WNBA and talking about the black women who have paved the way, but yet they haven't got the same attention that Clark has. Now, that's something that Caitlin Clark said she saw. Caitlin Clark, out of her own mouth, said, hey, you all haven't given the same attention to the black women of the WNBA. Why is that? That's what Caitlin Clark said. Okay. So let me dive into my commentary, man. Now, Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly has a long history of dismissing black experiences and perspectives, all right? Let's not forget when she criticized the black national anthem being played at NFL games, despite the NFL having a lot of black players, okay? Calling it divisive, all right? As if the national anthem that they have now isn't divisive. That's not divisive. Even though it was written by a slave owner and celebrated slavery within the second verse of the song, that's not divisive. But the Black National Anthem is divisive. This goes to show that people are so out of touch with, black people's experiences, which is fine. Be out of touch. I'm just talking. You can be out of touch all you want. All right. Let's not forget the time she insisted that Santa Claus was white. She said Santa is who he is, She said doubling down on a fictional character's race like it's really a historical fact. Okay, Santa Claus can be black, white, Chinese, etc. Okay, she's Santa Claus is a white man, it's just the truth. Okay, all right, fine. Every time there's a conversation acknowledging black culture, history, or struggles, Megyn Kelly has something negative to say about it. Okay, so when Caitlin Clark, a rising star in women's basketball, had the courage to acknowledge what she saw and acknowledge that, she thinks she has a little privilege, Megyn Kelly got mad, making it seem like Caitlin Clark was out of line. But let's be real, Caitlin Clark didn't do anything wrong. All right. Also, man, black people do not have a problem giving credit to white entertainers, sports people, etc. Okay, black people don't have an issue doing it. No matter the race or the athlete, if you code, you code. Whether you rap, whether you are a hooper, a boxer, etc. If you code, you code. All right. Larry Bird. Black people never had an issue giving credit to Larry Bird. He's a legend, and black people had no problem admitting that. Dirk Nowitzki, a beast on the court, fully respected by black people. Steve Nash, two-time MVP. He earned that recognition, and black people gave him his props. So why is it that, when someone like Caitlin Clark acknowledges disparities that she sees and how, white and black athletes are treated, people like Megyn Kelly take it as an attack on white folks? Right? Black fans, again, have no issue celebrating greatness no matter what the race is of the person, whether it's black, white, or otherwise. The respect for talent is always there, period. See, Caitlin Clark didn't diminish her talent or accomplishments by acknowledging privilege. She simply pointed out what she sees and what's real. All right. She's, the WNBA has incredible black players who've achieved far more than what Caitlin Clark has, but haven't received nearly the same level of attention. And Caitlin Clark recognized that. All right. Caitlin simply pointed out that there's an imbalance, and Megyn Kelly can't stand that. Okay. The problem isn't Caitlin Clark's statement, man. The problem is people like Megyn Kelly and her ilk who feel the need to shut down conversations about privilege, race, equity, etc. This isn't about, sports for Kelly. It's not about sports for Megyn Kelly. It's about maintaining a narrative where acknowledging systemic issues is seen as divisive or unnecessary. All right. It's not just Caitlin's comments she's attacked. Right? Whenever black people or black culture are celebrated or centered, Megyn Kelly has an issue with it, and she tries to downplay it or criticize it. Whether it's the Black National Anthem, fictional characters like Santa Claus, etc., or even basic historical truths, Megyn Kelly has something negative to say about it. Meanwhile, black fans, athletes, and communities consistently show respect for greatness across the board. Caitlin Clark isn't being torn down by black athletes or fans. In fact, she's celebrated for her talent and her honesty. That's what makes the whole situation even more frustrating. All right. Black athletes, man, have always paved the way in the WNBA and other sports. They've done the work, broken records, and built the league Caitlin Clark is thriving in. And Megyn Kelly hates the fact that Caitlin Clark acknowledged that. All right. But I would like to say acknowledging that doesn't hurt Caitlin's shine. It's actually going to give her more shine. Caitlin Clark is just giving credit where credit is due. Shout out to Caitlin Clark for that. All right. And with that being said, man, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I'm going to close with a Bible verse like I always do. Quote, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves." Unquote. That's Philippians 2:3. Caitlin Clark showed humility, man. She didn't have to, but she did. And that's powerful. Shout out to Caitlin Clark for that. The real question is, Why do people like Megyn Kelly feel so threatened by humility and truth? Acknowledging privilege doesn't take away from anyone's greatness. Right? It just makes the world a little bit more fairer. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to end it right there, man. Megyn Kelly always has something to say about anything that somebody has to say about black folks that's positive. Megyn Kelly comes from under a porch, under a rock, wherever. You know, Megyn Kelly can be deep down under the ground, and Megyn Kelly will come up to oppose anything positive said about black folks, man. That's just who she is, man. All right. Shout out to Caitlin Clark for that statement. To God be the glory, man. Jesus is Lord. Peace. I'm gone.